I'm the laziest man on the planet, but I'm also one of the most hardworking people in my ecosystem. I do all my videos on Friday. 3 videos a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. I do all my 15 videos every Friday. And I send it to my team. They chop it up and they put it everywhere. So you don't have to be disciplined every single day. I'm not. I look at one day and I look forward to Friday and I go to downtown. The weather is good or not, doesn't matter. I take my phone with me. I take my mic, camera, all of that with me, and I make videos. I've got my script and everything in my head. I'm practicing it all week. Once a week, I do it and I upload it. So I don't need 7 day discipline. It's just once a week.
Welcome to the Viral by Design podcast with Dave Rotherow, where we get inside the minds of today's leading viral marketers as they reveal the exact strategies they use to build brands, products, and campaigns that are magnetic to customers, spread like wildfire, and seize the attention of millions. This is Viral by Design.
So welcome to another episode of Viral by Design. I'm really excited today to be joined by Arya. Avi describes himself as the father of 2 girls, 6 dogs, and a husband to a superwoman. He is the streetcar racer turned hotelier turned social media influencer. He's the founder of Internet Moguls, and he is responsible for over $100 million in revenues for his clients. So, Avi, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Not at all. The pleasure is all mine, my friend. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm doing great. Yeah. So that's a hell of a varied past, right? So, so to go from streetcar racer to hotelier to social media influencer, can you kind of share with our guests a little bit more about your backstory and how you got to where you are today?
So you know what? Like Steve Jobs said, it's always easy to connect the dots looking back. So, but whenever there's a future is supposed to be uncertain, and as entrepreneurs, you try to make it as certain as possible, still having an understanding that the powering through or through this uncertainty is going to make you the human and the man that you're supposed to. Luckily, I had no idea of all of this profound knowledge when I was growing up. So at the age of 18, all I wanted to do in life was to race street cars. My dad used to go to sleep. I used to take out the car keys from under his pillow, race with people, sometimes make a little bit of money. And I thought I'm going to become a street car racer. At the age of 18, the only dream I had was to go to UK and study car racing. And that was my dream. And I was one of the only 18-year-olds who had a plan in mind. As life would have it, the plans got shattered when my dad lost everything in his business and we had to sell the house, sell the cars. And obviously, we had no money to go to study overseas. I started working in my dad's 27-room motel. During that time, there was a new phenomena on the market called the internet. This was a service that would allow people to connect with different parts of the world. Only it was prohibitively expensive. It was $10 for 30 minutes access back in the late 90s. After a few months, I saw an ad in the paper, a company saying looking for cyber cafe partners. I jumped at the opportunity, and then after 4 months of paperwork, we had a cyber cafe. Now, Dave, I had 24-hour access to the slowest internet on the planet. I used to open a website on the morning. By the evening, I used to have the entire site open. But I started asking people in the UK, in Europe, all over the world questions on how I should market my hotel to foreigners from all over the world. Somebody said toll-free number, website, SEO, all of that. I learned a bit, hired some people from here and there. It was very difficult in the early 2000s to be able to get this kind of people and talent. Somehow we got it done. We were one of the first ever hospitality websites in the country to go live. There was nobody doing it. And because we were able to do that without a plan, we had no idea what this is going to lead to. Because we were one of the first few people, the results were astounding. We had so much business coming in that we were able to grow from one to multiple hotels in the next few years. So that was journey number one. Journey number two was by 2009, I said it's time to branch out on my own. I was speaking now on various stages and sharing my story with people on how I made my father's business successful using the internet. People loved the story, said, can you do this for us? 2009, I started a company called Internet Moguls with a 4-member team, and we grew it to 225 people working with 700 clients in 10 years, in 11 years, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of tears, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of what's going to happen next month. But we survived. We're bootstrapped, no funding, no co-founders, no bank loans, no debt, still going strong.
That's incredible, man. Like, what an amazing backstory. And, it's clear that it was your grit and determination that well, first of all, had you waiting the entire day for those pages to load in the internet cafe, right? And there's also, there's something, it says something about something in your kind of personality and your kind of spirit that's really allowed you to have the success and cut through all those adversities. So I guess, like, what would your recommendation be to people who are trying to get started out right now, creating a presence online, creating something, starting up some kind of internet-based business?
See, the thing is, I had, I'll be very honest, I had no grit, I had no perseverance, none of those. I will not take credit for any of those virtues. The thing was, either you put yourself in a circumstance that allows you to change and change for the better, or life will put you in a circumstance. For me, life put me in a circumstance where I was extremely unhappy from being wanting to become a streetcar racer. Now I had to prove to my dad that I should, I deserve to be fed and be at home, be living in this under the same roof. And so I needed to prove myself and my worth to my parents, and that became my driving force. So that just happened. Life made me, I put myself in a situation where but for most people, if life doesn't put you in a situation, either life puts you in a situation and you're happy or you're unhappy about it. I always say, think of it like a lazy person. A lazy person says, I don't want to get up. I was like that. Didn't want to get up before 12 in the morning. Wanted to eat all day, watch some TV and all of that. But today, if you're like that, pick yourself up and put yourself up in the company of winners. They will be the most uncomfortable lot. You will not want to meet. You know what? When we're not making money, we don't want to hang around with rich friends because they have better cars, they have better homes. They're talking about vacations where I can't even pay the bill for the next week. But guess what? If I have the grit and determination to still hang out with those friends, I'm not talking about rich friends who've not done any work. I'm talking about rich friends who are successful, who are making money and have a process to make money and have a discipline. If I put myself in the company of those people, I will feel miserable and super uncomfortable. But if I hang out around them for a while, then their color, their sheen will start rubbing off on me. And before I know it, I will become one of them.
Yeah.
That's the only way to change. Pick yourself up. It's a big garden and you're a plant. Uprooting is difficult. Uproot yourself, put yourself in the, join a mastermind, join an online course, or join the gym if you want to change your body. When you want to change the body, you don't say, you go to the gym and you surround yourself with bodybuilders. When you want to become a doctor, you go to med school. When you want to become a lawyer, you say bye to everybody and join the law school, and you work only with lawyers. When you want to become successful, find successful people. They're going to make, their company is going to be very uncomfortable in the beginning. After that, you're going to become them.
Yeah, 100%, man. I couldn't agree more. Like, I think we, as humans, we spend so much time trying to stay conformed to the identity that we've created for ourselves, or that or kind of circumstances have created for us. As you're saying, life puts you in that situation, and
Even if it's painful, we don't want to change. We get used to the pain. It becomes sweet pain, and we just live our lives like that. It
yeah,
could be weight. It could be weight. I could put on 100 kilos and keep eating chips and having beer all day, and put the lights off and play video games all day. And I don't want to go out. And that pain, I know it's not good for me, but I'm like, forget it. And I make friends only on the internet. I don't know anybody outside, and I want to live in that dark room. And it's pain. I'm getting used to the. I don't want to get up and go out. So I maybe gave a very extreme example of a person who's put on weight and playing video games and having chips all day. But this is what we're doing in everyday life. There's some pain that we have, we don't want to change, and we're living with that pain.
yeah,
It could be, going and meeting more people, joining a mastermind, doing an online course. There's some pain I know that I have a remedy to, but I'd rather live in that pain. So pick yourself up and say, you know what? If I get out of this pain, it's not only for myself, it's for my family. It's for the future generation. It's whoever, if you, it's very easy to do it for others than yourself. Maybe you look at your mom's face and say, I want to do it for her. She deserves it. Or do it for your best friend. Or do it for, somebody. Get yourself out, uproot yourself every few years. Put yourself. A lot of people say, I'm leaving London and I'm going to Silicon Valley because that's where all the tech startups happen. So, I mean, that is the breeding ground for tech startup success. So, similarly, in your own city, wherever you are in any part of the world, there are pockets of people who are becoming who you want to become. Just go and plant yourself over there and just stay put for a few months and you'll change.
Yeah, I think it's a great message, man. I think it's so huge. I think, and it all comes down to the habits, right? It's stuff that may seem kind of inconsequential at the time, like small things, but I don't know if you've seen this thing, the habit curve. It's referred to as the habit curve, where people, the small changes that you make every single day, it may seem like nothing, at the time, and like every day that you look at it, it seems like nothing, but then eventually there's this exponential growth of improvement, right? And I think it seems to apply to so many different things, whether it be exercise, whether it be success, whether it be finances. It's finding those right habits and getting in touch with those right people, and you never know what kind of connection you might make, right, to somebody that
100.
happens to be, yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, I mean that's such a great story. So in terms of like how people can start doing this, well, first of all, what do you kind of work on now? Like, how do you actually help clients, and what's your kind of focus right now?
Right now, we've been focusing on working with coaches. So we realized, Dave, that there are two kinds of coaches. There are hardworking coaches and there are super coaches, and there are three major differences between both of them. And we've done this over years and years of study, and we've tried to understand what is the difference between a hardworking coach and a super coach. A hardworking coach says, Avi, I'm very good at what I do, but people who are less experienced are better known and hence more successful. That means your problem is getting known. You're not known enough. Okay. The other thing is, Avi, I don't have, how many leads do you get? I don't know. Sometimes I go to a conference and I pick up 20 business cards. Sometimes somebody will send me a lead. I don't have a fixed system to get leads. That's the hardworking coach talking. A super coach will always have a system getting him leads. A hardworking coach, when you ask him about sales, he's like, last month was good. Next month, I don't know. This month is Christmas. So we don't know how, the audience is reacting in a different way. The market, COVID, everything is an outside circumstance. They don't have control over their lives. Whereas a super coach will give a Shark Tank type of answer. 1.8 million, next month stated at 2.2 with 20% EBITDA. They have it figured out. So what's the difference between a hardworking coach and a super coach? The difference is there is something called a business equation, which a hardworking coach doesn't have and a super coach has. For example, a super coach says, I want to make $10,000 a month. So that how much is your product? $1,000. So you need to sell 10 products. So that's the sales you need to get. Fine. So get sales 10. How many leads do you need to get 10 sales? Well, I have a 10% conversion rate, so I need 100 leads. So get leads 100. How many people need to know you in the marketplace for you to get 100 leads? Well, 1,000 people need to know me every month. So get known 1,000, get leads 100, get sales 10. If that's the formula, then let's use social media, digital marketing, funnels, webinars, online courses to help you get known, get leads, get sales, so that your business equation works. So that's what we do with coaches. We help hardworking coaches become super coaches by getting known, getting leads, getting sales.
That's awesome, man. And everything gets so much more simple when you put an equation behind it, right? It just makes it more manageable. You can see this is how it works, and this is where we need to feed, right?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So what kind of in terms of like setting up we look at the very the top end of the funnel, actually attracting attention online and becoming something which you've done a fantastic job of over recent years, becoming a social media influencer, somebody that really is a master at getting attention. How will people start going about doing that?
Well, it's the easiest thing to do, but it's the most difficult thing to do as well. It's easy because it doesn't take a lot of money and investment. It's difficult because it requires the most important thing in life, which is discipline. So the thing is, I always say, pick up the phone, 3 videos a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. And your video is like, hey Dave, how you doing? My name is Arya, father of 2 girls, 6 dogs, husband to a superwoman, streetcar racer turned hotelier, now social media marketer and founder of Internet Moguls. Dave, 2 things. I love Bristol, not for the cold, but for the people. And I love your hairstyle. It reminds me of Tintin, only with a better looking version of yourself. Dave, I'd love to be on your podcast, and I see that this is what you do. These are the 3 things that we can do together. Maybe I sell camera equipment, or I sell these kind of things. Or you know what, Dave, on a person like you with that kind of a hoodie, the swatches that I'm selling, the G-Shocks will do well. And just because you're an influencer, I'd like to send you the white model for absolutely free. Just click on the link. Let's book a 20-minute call. I'd love to be on your show. And while I'm on your show, I'd like to talk about, I'm just making it up as I talk. I'm saying it's so simple to connect with people one-on-one. And if you want to connect one to many, same thing. I believe every human being needs to have Dave, the shortest distance between two human hearts is always a story. Tell people a story and they will be with you forever. The shortest version of a story is called the hero introduction. And the hero introduction is, my name is Arya, father of two girls, six dogs, husband to superwoman, streetcar racer, turn hotelier, now social media marketer and founder of Internet Moguls. I've told you my 25 years of journey, the first 25 years of journey in 10 seconds. People relate. Oh, dogs. Oh, how cute, how not. Oh, he's a father, family man. Oh, he takes care of his wife. Oh, he's a founder of a company as well. He wanted to be a streetcar racer. Tells me about what he was as growing up as a child. I've told you every aspect of my life in a short story. So I tell people, have a hero introduction and make 3 videos a day. Those 3 videos could be one to many. What's the message you want to give to others? Or it could be one on one, calling up on influencers and people saying, you know what, I want to work with you. I want to intern with you for free. I'll give you, this is the value I can add. I research the person up, see what's the problem that they have, and help them with that problem to get a job, or research the person up, help them with a problem to maybe to get them to hire you as a client, or research the person and help them, tell them what you can do to be on their show or have them on your show. Three things: either you get a job, or you get a customer, or you get somebody as a podcast to be on your podcast, or you being on their podcast. Or you can be on DJ Khaled's show if you want. You can be on any show. It's just a matter of 3 videos a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. The reason that people say things are not working for me is when they are not doing enough work. Because if you're doing enough work and sending out enough proposals, you don't have time to think which ones worked and which didn't, because you're always okay the next day.
Yeah, that's huge, man. That's a fantastic strategy, just in terms of like simplicity, like having in mind 3 videos a day is huge, man. Like even going back to the habit building thing, and I guess one question that came up then is, a lot of people fall down with habits, right? So if somebody needs to set out now after this, like after hearing this podcast, okay, cool, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take Avi's advice and do 3 videos a day for the next 30 days, and then I'm going to keep it going as well. But then people often fall down as, there's been a mass clattering of people falling from their New Year's resolutions already in the past few weeks of 2021. Like, what would be your advice for those kind of people? What do people need to do to maintain that motivation and discipline?
Oh, I am so happy. It shows how empathetic and how there are podcast hosts who do podcasts for podcasting, and there are podcast hosts like Dave who do podcasts for their audience. The fact that you asked this question is because you want to give advice, actionable advice to your audience, and I really appreciate you asking that question. I'm the laziest man on the planet, but I'm also one of the most hardworking people in my ecosystem. I do all my videos on Friday. 3 videos a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. I do all my 15 videos every Friday, and I send it to my team. They chop it up and they put it everywhere. So you don't have to be disciplined every single day. I am not. I look at one day and I look forward to Friday, and I go to downtown. The weather is good or not, doesn't matter. I take my phone with me. I take my mic, camera, all of that with me, and I make videos. I've got my script and everything in my head. I'm practicing it all week. Once a week, I do it and I upload it. So I don't need 7-day discipline. It's just once a week. I do take different hats, or I'll change this and, maybe wear the other one, or do something with the other, and, maybe change my jacket or.
I like your style, man. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. So, what are you most excited about in 2021? Obviously, there's a lot of new platforms and stuff on the go. There's, TikTok is coming and going and to and fro, and then we got stuff like Clubhouse as well, starting to make a move. What are you most excited about, and what do you think is going to be the most profitable for people to get involved in?
See, the thing is, I'm very excited about relaunching and starting my own podcast, which is called the Internet Moguls, because I've interviewed almost every major influencer on the planet, and most of these shows are not even published. So I'm now going to start publishing most of these shows. I'm excited personally on that front. I'm also excited about the 3D system for coaches to help them get known, get leads, get sales. And the most important thing, what I've realized is, for myself, my biggest learning has been, while I was busy getting known and building a brand and all of that, there were people who were making much more revenue than I was, and they're not even known as much, because you have a high ticket product, you have the right customer, you're talking to those right customers. Doesn't matter we have 1 million followers on TikTok. So, don't use your follower count as a crutch and say I'm not successful because I have less followers. Doesn't matter. You need 10 customers a month for $1,000 or 2,000 or whatever, and you can get those 10 customers on the phone call with Facebook ads, the right funnel and all of that. You don't need a big infrastructure of followers. I mean, it helps. You get invited to podcasts. You get, I wish I could show you my office filled up with stuff, and then I get engagements anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month. Every time there's a new product or a service that comes out, or a new software or a SaaS company, they say we'll give you $5,000 a month for the first 3 months or 4 months. Talk about it, or just have a pillow like at the back and all of that. I'm like, wow, I got 5,000. I've told my kids I'm getting $5,000 monthly deals from multiple products just to put a pillow at the back and all of that. And all of these things happen because your following is increasing. So don't get me wrong, a good following does give you all those deals. But the thing is, that not be the leading factor. Spend a day in the week to grow your following and your impact, but your direct product or service that you're selling doesn't need to be dependent on that. You becoming a celebrity, like for example, a movie star, Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is cutting ribbons and opening diamond stores, and doing all of that. That is a part of her becoming a brand, but her main business is the movie business. She'll do one movie in 5 years. So you do 5 clients a month or 10 clients a month. That's your main business. Everything else is your ancillary. Don't reverse it and say, I'm going to become an influencer. So become a business person, and the influence will happen automatically, is what I've learned for myself. For me in 2021, it's going to be big for me to focus on revenue and not so much on the numbers that I'm growing on getting known.
Such solid advice, man. It's so refreshing to hear, because there's so many people who just say grow your influence, and then just kind of people are, paying for Instagram subscribers and growing their followings, and then they just expect at some point for like a check to fall out the sky or something. But your message you have right there is that really focus on what is it you're doing, how is it you're helping people, how is it you're going to monetize this, and then work back from there as well, right?
See, it's so easy to get, and I told you I'm guilty of doing that. I admitted that. It's so easy to get sort of follow the shiny object syndrome, like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And from the time we were all 4 years old, every single human being wanted recognition. And now the social media is saying everybody can get recognition. And then, God forbid, some of your best friend gets recognition. Then you're on a TikTok journey for life, trying to chase something which you might never get, and have and inherit unhappiness in the bargain. So it's dangerous, for the lack of a better word.
100%, man. Well, hey, Avi, thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom with us. I think, there's one massive takeaway for me is just that real simple strategy that you said of 3 videos a day. I can't remember the maths of how it shakes down, but just actually,
50 a week, 60 a month. I'm just saying, this is a lazy people's blueprint to success. Don't work 7 days a week, work only 5 days. 3 videos a day, 15 a week, 5 a day, 15, 60 a month.
Perfect. Such a simple strategy, man. But as if somebody to listen to this and pick that up, like they can have so much success. So thank you so much for sharing this. Where can people find out more about you, follow you, find out about what you're working on?
Yeah, the best place to get in touch with me is my Instagram, which is Ask Avi Arya, AskAviArya.
That's awesome, man. Thank you again for taking the time. I look forward to speaking soon.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.
This has been the Viral by Design podcast with Dave Rotherow. For more viral marketing secrets and to get detailed cliff notes on all episodes, visit viralbydesign.net.